A poor mechanic named Arjun lived in a small town on the edge of a long desert highway, where dusty winds carried the scent of engine oil and old machines. His workshop was barely more than a tin shed with peeling paint and a faded sign that read, "Arjun Motors, open when possible," because sometimes the only thing he could not control was whether he had enough electricity to run his tools. Arjun had learned everything he knew from his father, who used to fix trucks for travelers passing through, and though business was never strong, Arjun never turned away anyone who needed help. He charged only what he felt was fair and sometimes nothing at all when he saw someone in true trouble. One scorching afternoon, when the sun looked like a burning coin stuck in the sky, a woman rode up to Arjun's workshop on a sleek black motorcycle. It wasn't the kind of machine he normally saw in his dusty town. It was a high-end touring model, polished to a mirror shine despite the layer of sand that now covered it. The woman removed her helmet, revealing long hair tucked neatly behind her ears and eyes sharp with exhaustion. She introduced herself simply as Mira. Without hesitation she told him that her motorcycle had been making strange noises for the last 20 kilometers. Arjun noticed how tired she looked, like she had been riding for hours, maybe days. Though he knew repairing such a high-end machine would be complicated, he nodded with quiet confidence. "I'll do my best," he said. He pushed the motorcycle into the shade and began examining it piece by piece. As he worked, he asked her where she was headed, and she smiled faintly. "Just traveling," she said, offering nothing more. Arjun didn't cry. He had met many travelers, each with their own story, and he believed everyone had the right to keep their secrets. After an hour of checking gears and tightening bolts, Arjun discovered the real issue. A small but crucial part near the engine had cracked. He didn't have the original replacement. It was far too expensive for his workshop, but he had an idea. He disassembled an old scrap engine he had kept for years, salvaged a similar part, reshaped it by hand, filed it down, and adjusted it until it fit perfectly. It wasn't brand new, but it was strong, reliable, and safe. For 2 more hours he worked tirelessly, sweat dripping from his forehead as he refused to cut corners. All the while Mira watched in silence, occasionally offering him water or wiping dust off her gloves. When he finally finished, he kicked the engine to life, and the motorcycle purred like a satisfied animal. Mira's eyes widened with joy. She tried the throttle, listened to the engine, and nodded with admiration. "You're talented," she said. Arjun smiled shyly. "Just doing my job." When she asked how much she owed him, he hesitated. He knew such repairs usually cost a fortune, but he also knew the part he used was salvaged, not purchased. 200 rupees, he said gently. She blinked in surprise. That was barely the price of a meal in the city. "Are you sure?" she asked. "You've spent hours working." Arjun simply shrugged. "You were stuck on the road. Anyone could have charged you more. But this is fair." Mira studied him for a long moment, as if trying to understand the kind of person who would give so much and expect so little. Then she paid him, thanked him sincerely, and rode off, leaving behind a swirl of dust. Arjun returned to his small workshop, never imagining he would see her again. But the next morning, a convoy of expensive cars rolled into the town, shiny black SUVs that looked completely out of place among the old shops and dirt roads. The townspeople gathered, whispering. Arjun paused mid-repair, stunned as the door of the first SUV opened and Mira stepped out. Wearing the same calm expression but now accompanied by well-dressed assistants. She walked straight to Arjun, who stood frozen with a wrench in his hand. "Good morning," she said. "I hope I didn't surprise you." Arjun stammered. "Is something wrong with the bike?" "No," she said with a laugh. "It's perfect." Then she motioned to one of her assistants, who handed her a tablet. "Arjun, I didn't tell you yesterday, but I own a nationwide chain of automotive dealerships and service centers. I'm a mechanic too, at heart. I started from a small garage not much different from yours. I watched how you worked, how honest you were. People like you are rare." Arjun felt his heartbeat thunder in his chest. The whole town watched in disbelief. Mira continued, "Your skill, your honesty, your dedication, these are things money cannot teach. I want to offer you something." She handed him the tablet, which displayed a contract. "I want you to become the lead technical trainer for my company. You will oversee new mechanics, teach them, help design fair pricing models for rural areas, and ensure that no traveler ever gets cheated. The salary is more than enough to change your life. Arjun was speechless. He had never dreamed of such an opportunity. Why me? He whispered. Meera smiled warmly. Because when you didn't know who I was, when you had every chance to overcharge me, you still did what was right. A person's true character shows when no one is watching. He looked around at his old workshop, the rusted tools, the leaking roof, the dream he had always believed was too big for someone like him. Then he looked at Meera, standing there with genuine belief in her eyes. Slowly, with hands trembling, he signed the contract. The crowd erupted in applause. Life changed after that day. Arjun moved to the city, received training, and soon became one of the most respected mechanics in the company. His honesty shaped new policies, his skills trained hundreds of young workers, and his story became one people repeated to remind themselves that kindness and integrity never go unnoticed. And sometimes, without even realizing it, a simple repair on a dusty afternoon can open the doors to a destiny far beyond imagination.